I'm lazy, so I needed a brain-dead, lucrative, and easy farm this league. This got me thinking if running bosses over and over could be lucrative. And just so, we got one easy, fast, and repeatable boss in the game, the Delirium Pinnacle boss. All you need is to buy a bunch of Raven's reflections, head down over to the Willow, and shove them in the empty hole over there. So the only question is the farm lucrative? Well, shit, it definitely should. Because heading over to the POE wiki, we can find some high-ticket items with a decent drop rate, at least based on a couple of hundred of kills. The Raven-touched shard, as of recording, goes for a whopping 109 divvies. This is because you can use it to anoint a passive on your helmet, which is a must for any build deep in the endgame. And the rubies unidentified went for 16 divines each. That's pretty fucking good. No wonder, honestly, because they allow you to chuck a UE on the passive tree and save loads of nodes, allowing you to allocate nodes from another starting point. And just to calculate my estimated divines per hour, I ran a couple of runs and was able to clock in 43 runs an hour when fully maxing it out. That, my friends, with a cost of 1.9 divine a run, is a profit of a whopping 56 divines an hour just from these two items alone, and he can drop a bunch more. The Sadist's Mercy and Raven's Flock, for example, goes for a few divines each if they roll a high skill level, and he's also supposed to drop a bunch of item bases that can sell for a bunch of divines as well, since everything he drops has a high item level. The question is, though, will the calculations and drop chances actually hold up? Well, I did 100 runs and summarized my profits. Let's check it out, shall we? First, though, for the newbies, how do you actually kill the guy? To unlock him, you need to do the first couple of Delirium quests. Then, the Ravens that you need to kill him drops at the end of simulacrum runs. So, to farm him, you first need to run a fuckload of simulacrums, or do like me and just buy the Ravens from the currency exchange. But before you do that, you may want to see the results. For all of my runs, I used Doriani, as he should be the most valuable one, considering he has a 25% chance to drop an additional unique from all kills. Furthermore, I ran with a total of 90 item rarity on my gear. Alright, enough fucking yapping. Let's farm some currency. Alright, that's a total of 100 runs. Let's see what we found. I got a total of 1 Raven Touch Shard. I sold this for a whopping 109 divines. Pretty sweet. Furthermore, I found a total of 3 rubies that all sold for 16 divines each. That's the same drop chance as in the wiki for the rubies, but less than half of the drop chance that was included on the Ravens. To get a perfect estimate, though, you would probably need a couple of thousand runs, so that's all right. For the remaining items, I didn't get a single big-ticket item. I sold a couple of Raven's Flock Staffs for a few divines, and then just a bunch of items for a few exalts each, along with 4 or 5 divine drops. In total, after about 4 days of waiting to get all my shit sold, I got an additional 30 divines for all of those items. Summarizing my profits, I therefore managed to get 109 divines for my Raven, 48 divines for the rubies, and lastly, 30 divines for all the remaining dogshit loot. And that, my friends, is a whopping 7.6 divines of a profit. For a total of 3 divines an hour profit. That's pretty fucking atrocious. What's funny though, is that while I was waiting for all my items to get sold, the Raven-touched shard dropped down to 70 divines in price, and the rubies dropped down to 8 divines each. The Raven's reflections that you need to do the fight also increased in price, now costing 2.4 divines each. Using these new numbers, I would have made a profit of negative 105 divines, amounting to negative 45 divines an hour. So, yeah, I won't be running this test again. It could be that I was massively unlucky when doing this, but even if I were to drop an additional shard, I would still be losing currency. Alright folks, that's all for this test. If you enjoyed this quick and dirty summary of farms to avoid this league, let me know. Because otherwise, fuck this, and I will never do it again. Drop a sub and I'll see you in another video.